I'm Cairo, and this is the right time and the right place. Season 2. UFC on ABC 1 is here. If you said this 5-10 years ago, people would not believe you that a sports organization like MMA would make it to the scale like this. We have already been legitimized, but this just furthers our cause. MMA is taking over. We are a part of the mainstream, and we are here to say. Anyway, let's talk about the main event. I always do you guys like this because you don't want to watch the end of the video. Whatever. Max Holloway versus Kattar. Y'all are betting your souls on Kattar like this man is Muhammad Ali based off of his boxing. He has a nice 1-2. Let's not get carried away, guys. He is not as great of a boxer as you guys are saying he is. I'm not saying he's a bad boxer. I'm not saying that he isn't a good boxer. But y'all are acting like this guy's the best boxer in the UFC. That's not the case. It's not the case at all. And y'all are looking past Max Holloway just because he's lost, 4 of his last 6 or whatever the crazy number is. Have y'all not forgotten who Max Holloway is? The guy won 17 straight fights or something crazy like that at featherweight. He also beat Jose Aldo twice by TKO. He is one of the more well-rounded guys. He just chooses not to grapple. He's going to touch you up. He has one of the highest outputs in UFC history as far as significant strike numbers are concerned. So you're not going to get out of a fight without getting touched by him. Also, he starts off hot. He can fight in both stances, and he is oftentimes deadly. It's not just him pity-patting. He can TKO you. And for you guys to sit here and look me in my face and just say that just because Calvin Kattar has good boxing, he's going to win a striking bout? No.
We will not have it.
I said we will not have it, oh.
He's not. You guys swear that Zabit has terrible cardio, yet Calvin Kattar couldn't finish him or beat him. He couldn't cut off the cage from his escape. He couldn't rack up enough points, and y'all said Zabit was running away. Well, guess what? It's either Zabit is a phenomenal fighter now, or Calvin Kattar isn't that good because Zabit isn't that good. You can't pick and choose how you want to see the scenario. It's either all or nothing. This is the all or nothing show. Anyway, I'm going Max Holloway. The fact that he hasn't gone 25 minutes with anybody in the UFC, and the fact that it has to be against Max Holloway as his first time, that's the kiss of death. He's out of here. 50-45, maybe 49-46, but the result is still the same. A loss for Calvin Kattar. I'm sorry that you guys' favorite boxer in MMA is going to lose, but guess what? Just because you TKO Shane Burgos, and just because you have a nice TKO finish against Jeremy Stephens, doesn't mean you're going to win this fight. I'm sorry, I got to be the bad guy and crush all your dreams, but it's not happening this time. This is not his time. This is Max's time. Anyway, moving on. We got Carlos Conde versus Matt Brown. You guys don't know this about me, but I'm a huge Natural Born Killer fan. I've been a fan of him well before I started YouTube, and he's fallen on some tough times. My man has lost like 5 or 6 straight from grapplers. I'm sick of them handing these fighters grapplers. I know it's mixed martial arts, and I love mixed martial arts, but what I'm saying is this. I don't want to see mixed martial arts against these legends. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, Matt Brown is in a peculiar situation. I think he should have retired 3 years ago. After he beat Diego Sanchez, he should have just let it be a career and moved on from there. But he didn't do that. He stuck around, and he's taking more damage. He's losing. I'm not the type of person to say that a person needs to stop fighting. But what I am going to say is this. He ain't winning this fight. Carlos Conde's back, baby. I'm not saying Carlos is going to make a title run. I'm not saying he's going to get ranked, but he's definitely going to go on a 2-fight winning streak after this one. I think Carlos Conde is going to TKO Matt Brown, and I think it happens in the second round. I think he starts withering him away in the first round, and because he's not worried about that grappling, Carlos Conde is going to let loose, and you know what? No. Carlos isn't going to finish him. 30-27, 29-28 decision. I'm not losing my mind just because I like Carlos. Even though he has one of the best highlight reels on YouTube right now. You look him up, he has a crazy fight against Jung Hong Kim. He has a crazy finish against Dan Hardy. And the thing about Carlos Conde is he has the most underrated shins in martial arts. People never talk about this guy's shins. He's taking bombs from everybody, and he's never been TKO'd finished by anybody except for Tyron Woodley, but it was a knee injury, not from him getting knocked out. But I digress. Just if you take anything from this, Carlos Conde, the natural born killer, is going to win this fight. Period, point blank. The next fight is Santiago Ponzinibio versus Lee Jingling. The return of Ponzinibio. Y'all want to talk about Leon Edwards not fighting? Ponzinibio hasn't fought in 42 years. This guy's the most inactive fighter ever. This guy survived death. He cheated. And I don't really condone what he does outside of the cage, but I do acknowledge his abilities as a fighter. And he should be ranked in the top 10, maybe even top 7 if he was active right now, but that's not the case. I think Lee Jingling doesn't stand a chance. And although Jingling has never been finished and he's durable and he knows how to stay safe and not get finished, I think Ponzinibio is still going to beat him 29-28, maybe even 30-27. We forget the forward pressure in his boxing is dangerous and he can go all day. He's not one of those guys who gets tired. And even if he's a shell of what I remember him as, I still think he's going to get it done. You guys always talk about my picks. You always say, Kairos, you got this one wrong, but you never talk about it when I get it right. If I was a betting man, side note, Don't take any of this advice. Do not go out there betting based on these picks that I'm conducting. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just saying that if perhaps you were thinking about gambling and if you were interested in making money and not losing money, I would perhaps consider doing these picks of Max Holloway, Carlos Conde, Santiago Ponzinibio, and what I'm going to say next for the next 2 fights. I would possibly parlay them. That's all I'm saying. I'm not a gambling guy. I'm not the gambling guy. Don't come talking to me about it, gambling advice. But I am going to tell you this. Perhaps you should look into those fights. Anywho, Ponzinibio is the real deal, and he's going to show you it this Saturday. He's a problem. Anywho, next up in the middleweight division, we got Joaquin Buckley versus Alessio di Cherico. Now, I'm going to just be real with y'all. Y'all love Joaquin Buckley or y'all don't love him, whatever. I still like the guy. I think he's a phenomenal fighter. And yes, his knockout was knockout of the year. So if you think that it wasn't, you're crazy. Anywho, though, what got him to the party is his boxing. I think he's one of the best boxers in the middleweight division. I think he can cross into that top 15 to top 10 ranking. I don't know if he can comfortably stay there and defend that area and defend that rank, but I definitely think he can break into that based off of boxing alone. And by the end of 2021, if he doesn't get injured. But that's a big if. And I really do think Alessio doesn't have anything for him. I think he's going to get boxed up in the first round. Maybe he survives the first round. And then it goes into the second round, and then he just gets finished off. You guys always talk about the Kevin Holland highlight. Nah, I talk about the Kevin Holland highlight. But y'all sometimes talk about it too. Kevin Holland was having some problems in the first 2 rounds. They were hitting each other frequently. They were getting off on each other and teeing off on each other. So to act like that fight wasn't competitive is misplaced and also a dang lie. Anyway, picking Joaquin Buckley, second round knockout, not TKO. I love TKOs, but I think it's going to be a knockout. Next up, we got Hula Soriano versus Dusko Tudorovich. Hopefully I got that right. I feel like I did. I feel like I'm getting these names right. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. I only know Dusko in this situation. I know him because he fought, who's his name? Townsend, the guy from Michigan. He fought him like his last fight. I think he TKO'd him or got a decision off of him. And I acknowledge that he's going to be a problem in the middleweight division, but I don't know how far his ceiling is going to go. And just because of name recognition alone, familiarity, I'm choosing him over Puda Haley. I'm sorry. If I'm wrong, whatever. But I'm not really interested in researching these guys right now because I got a lot of stuff that I'm trying to crank out. But, so, if you take anything from this, take the first 4 picks. Take the first 4 picks that I got. Don't pay attention to the 5th pick, even though I think Dusko has a pretty strong chance. Other side notes of this card, let's look at the prelims really quick. 2 fights that you guys got to look out for. Phil Haas and Austin Lingo. I think Phil Haas is going to be a phenomenal addition to the middleweight division. I don't know if he's going to be a superstar, but he definitely is going to be a rising star. And Austin Lingo, I think he's one of those guys who's positioned himself to be a formidable fighter in the featherweight division. I don't know if he's going to... Featherweight's the toughest division in the UFC. I don't care what anybody says. It's the toughest, so he's going to have a tough time rising the rankings there. But I do think he can squeeze out some wins, especially in this one. Also, I'm putting down the rest of the picks for the prelims during this video as well. You can see me either on the sidebar or cover screen. I'll put it somewhere for you to see. But I'm just not trying to have this video be 10 minutes. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm Cairo. This is the right time and the right place. Have a great week. I'm Cairo, and this is the right time and the right place. Season 2.